Good afternoon, everyone. Almost evening. My name is Sarah Hamza, and I'm a proud member of the Rotary Club of Stratford, and I am your MC for the evening. And it is my absolute pleasure to welcome you here to the Arden Park and to Stratford, Ontario. We are thrilled that it's a reasonably seasonable day today. We had the winter that one never wants to remember, so at least we don't have snow, but we also don't seem to have rain. So it looks like it's a great weekend for us to be gathering here to get out and enjoy all of Rotary has to offer in our district and all of the community of Stratford has to offer. So thank you for coming to the District 6330 conference in Stratford. We are at the Arden Park Hotel, so congratulations to everyone that has made it. We have made it to the Kroller Room. So that was the first skill testing question of the weekend, and you all pass. So jujubes will be distributed to anyone who made it. Those who join us later won't get the jujubes. They will also miss the notice that today's event, and in fact the entire weekend, is going to be live streamed. So we are sharing the magic of what we have come together to celebrate with anyone who would like to experience it, whether in our district or otherwise. But it also does mean that if you join us up on stage, you are giving your consent to be filmed. So if that is news to anyone who's going to be on stage, please see one of our individuals in the blue vests who are Rotary volunteers, and we will work out a solution to that. Phones must be turned off. Let's all take a moment to take them out of our pockets. My day job is actually in the theater, the Stratford Festival, and this is a really important feature for us, so I take this one seriously. So turn your phones off. And if you fail this second skill testing event of the weekend, you will be fined. Every time your phone goes off, you will be charged $5, which will be going to a very worthy cause, Polio Plus. Woo, there we go. But also turn your phone off, please. So if you take a chance, and if you do not know how to turn your phone off, again, please see our blue-vested volunteers, and they can help you out with that. Ask an exchange student. Anyone with buttons on them will know how to turn your phone off. Good call. We are together. Our district obviously represents two countries, Canada and the US, and Rotary is by very virtue of our organization known to bring people together. So on our stage, we have a Canadian flag, a US flag, and as well as the Rotary International flag. So I invite you all to take a moment to stand at this time. We're going to play both of our anthems in sequence to celebrate our unity and our joy of Rotary.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleam, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight and the ramparts we watch were so gallantly streamed, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night
And at this time, I'd like to welcome Patsy Day, a member of the Turtle Creek and Oneida Nation, who is a respected educator and elder in our community, to come to the stage.
Here we go. Yo ho, yo ho, Gaiwani no, ho eh ha, Gaiwani no. So that's a thanking song. In our language, we say, "Yo won't go," for the greatest thanks we can offer, and that's how this song begins. And at every gathering and ceremony that we have begins with a Thanksgiving address, and the ending also. So it's called the opening and the closing. So I greet you, Segole Swakweg. Can you say Segoli? It sounds so wonderful to hear the language of this earth here being spoken. Segole Swakweg, so greetings to all of you. Gajijawan Niungets. Gajijawan's a flower that's big. It's a name that my grandmother gave me many years ago now. It's my turtle clan family that I'm born to. Excuse me. And Onyata Aga Niugo Honjod. Onyata Aga is people of the Standing Stone nation I belong to. One of the 5 nations of the Haudenosaunee Longhouse Confederacy: Mohawk, Oneida, Onondaga, Cayuga, and Seneca. And so I want to welcome you to the traditional territories of the Haudenosaunee people. Our people have resided on this part of Turtle Island, all of southwestern Ontario, for over 13,000 years. And it's so good to be able to sing both of the national anthems here, because our traditional territories are in the Finger Lakes region of New York State. And so I'm a double citizen. I'm an American Canadian. And so it feels comfortable to sing both of them. And we have always been such good friends and relatives, and we want to keep those ties strong. And so I appreciate you inviting me here today, and thank you very much. Please enjoy the meal and your evening and your weekend together. Nagitwa.
Thank you so much, Patsy, for those beautiful words of welcome. I now invite to the stage His Worship Mayor Martin Ritzba, as well as newly re-elected Member of Parliament John Nader.
Thank you, Sarah. And having said that, Sarah's got more strong powers than I. You've got lots of rules coming in here tonight. So turn off your cell phone. I'm glad I didn't even bring mine in. I want to extend a welcome on behalf of the city of Stratford to everyone here, and especially to our American friends that are here. I'm reminded tonight when Sarah was talking or commenting on the flag, the comments of the Premier from Manitoba, Wab Kinew, who said something, and I'll paraphrase Premier Kinew, who said, the winds of politics will always change, but the boundary will never change. And our relationship with the American people will never change, and our friendship with the American people will never change. So on behalf of the city of Stratford, a special welcome to the visitors from the United States of America. Once again, you are welcome in our community, whether it's for wonderful events like this, this convention, or any other activity going on in Stratford or any other community in Canada. I'm reminded of 10 years ago today, I recognized the 90th birthday of of Rotary. And sadly, it was at a Lions convention. So I get up and, I'm pretty proud and say, and I just want to wish Rotary happy 90th birthday, because I saw the big bell or whatever it is. And when I realized it wasn't Rotary, it was Lions, I literally crawled underneath the closest table. So having said that, in all sincerity, I want to thank the Rotary Club of Stratford and any Rotary Club that's represented out here for what you do in our communities and internationally, whether it's the environment, whether it's youth, whatever the work that you are doing, it's valued. And so when I looked at your resume for this weekend, what you were supposed to be doing, I think it's education and fun, but I also think it's an opportunity for you to brag about what you do in your local Rotaries. So on behalf of the City of Stratford, City Council, welcome, enjoy your visit, spend lots of money, stay a couple days longer if you want, but thank you for being here. And once again, thank you. I'm going to invite John Nader, MP, to the stage. John, as just mentioned, is going to go back to Ottawa and represent us for his fourth term. And he has done an amazing job of representing us, and he will continue to do so. John, welcome to the podium.
Well, thank you for those kind words, Martin. And I wish Martin hadn't told that story about the Lions Club, because we're doing the 100th anniversary tomorrow night, and I'm just going to be laughing all night long about that story as we're celebrating the 100th year of the Lions tomorrow night. But it is wonderful to be here and to welcome you all to Stratford, to Perth County, to this beautiful part of our country. As Martin said, you're welcome back here anytime. Here in Stratford, there's very little traffic, except for when the swans are crossing. So you have to slow down for the swans. Other than that, it's a beautiful place to visit, a beautiful place to come and spend your time. So I hope all those who are coming from afar enjoy your time here. I know you have a jam-packed weekend of events. Looking at your schedule, I feel tired just looking at it, but I know it's going to be a worthwhile event. And there's nothing better than spending a weekend with a room full of Rotarians. Each of you does so much in your own home clubs, in your communities, and I know the work the two Rotary clubs do here in Stratford is simply remarkable here at home, but also internationally as well. I know Sarah mentioned the fine for having your cell phone go off. I think that's one small but huge example where we see that fight to end polio. I always say that in my lifetime, we will see polio eradicated worldwide, and that's because of the Rotarians in this room and around the globe. So again, I say thank you for having me. Have a wonderful weekend and all the very best. Thank you so much.
Thank you, John. Thank you, Martin. Thank you for being a part of our event as we get underway this weekend. I am now privileged to introduce someone who is likely known to most of us in this room. Our District Governor, Catherine Hahn, for the 2024-25 Rotary year, has been tirelessly traveling all of the districts to make meaningful connections with those of us who serve our communities. Catherine began her Rotary career in 2003 and was really spurred by a desire to give back for a community that supported her young family. And what began as a project of local service soon blossomed into a desire for global impact. So Catherine's Rotary journey started right here, but grew and is now impactful internationally. So without further ado, I would like to welcome to the stage the reason we are all brought together today, District Governor Catherine Hahn.
Oh, I didn't bring my cell phone. We're going to do a selfie before the weekend's over, okay, everybody? Remember when I came to visit you in your clubs? Okay. This is my biggest audience yet, so I don't want to miss capturing it. So it's such a pleasure to have all of you here with us this weekend to celebrate us, right? To celebrate Rotary and everything that's going on in our district. I belong, as Sarah said, to the Rotary Club of Stratford. But there are three clubs here in Stratford. There's the Rotary Club of Stratford, there's the Rotary Club of Festival City, and there's the Stratford Rotaract Club. So we have many Rotarians, more than 160 actually, in our city. And, but also we've been working very closely with the Rotary Club of St. Mary's and the Rotary Club of Mitchell to put this event together. So let's give a round of applause to all of the members of those clubs. Because this doesn't just happen with a couple of people. So And so as we gather here under this theme of peaceful horizons, it's a reminder that through Rotary's work, through our compassion and our service, we can help to create a more peaceful, hopeful future. And so whether it's education or clean water, mental health initiatives, or peace-building efforts, every action that we take moves us closer to those peaceful horizons that we imagine. Our Rotary International President, Stephanie Urchik, has encouraged us all to embrace the magic of Rotary, that invisible but powerful spark that happens, of course, when caring people like us come together to share creating lasting change. And you're going to hear that magic this weekend in our conversations, you're going to see it in our project showcases, and of course, you're going to feel it in the energy of the people that are around you. Throughout the year, I've had this incredible opportunity to travel across the district, visiting clubs large, visiting small clubs, in towns and cities of all sizes. And every club has its own style, its own projects, and its own way of operating. But what ties us all together is the same. It's that deep commitment to making the world a better place. And we know that just like in Rotary, many organizations, service organizations, have been challenged by membership. And I'm proud to say that we had a little bit of growth this year in our district, and that's a positive thing. But even more than the numbers of Rotarians in our district is the quality of our membership. It's your engagement and your passion and your commitment to your communities that are really and truly unparalleled. I would like to just take a brief moment to acknowledge our Rotary International President rep. She's not here yet. It's gonna be a surprise when you get to meet her. She'll be here representing Rotary International President Stephanie. So, thank you all for being here. Thank you for the work that you do every day to create that positive change. Thank you for helping us move forward toward a world filled with peaceful horizons, and for keeping that magic of Rotary alive and well right here in District 6330. So welcome to the conference. Craig, do you want to come up and say a few words on behalf of the club? All right.
Thanks, Catherine. So I am Craig Pierce. I am the current year president of the Stratford Rotary Club. So while I have the pleasure of welcoming and introducing all of you to our club as the host, as Catherine mentioned, our organizing committee for your district conference is made up of volunteers that are across the St. Mary's Club, the Mitchell Club, the Festival City Rotary Club, the Rotaract Club, and our own club. So this is a great opportunity for our area to get together and express fellowship. And as we come out of COVID, a lot of things have changed with Rotary, I would say. And I think this is a great way of getting back to expressing and sharing some of that fellowship across all of our Rotarians. And so on behalf of all of the clubs in our area, I just want to welcome everyone to Stratford and enjoy your district conference while you're here in Stratford for the weekend. Thank you.
Thank you, District Governor Catherine and President Craig. So with the words of welcome out of the way, we have some logistics to sort out. Everyone has a lanyard on. I don't. I just got told to take mine off because that was my skill testing question I forgot. Apparently it shines in the video. But anyway, everyone else has a lanyard on. If you have a lanyard and you have a green card in your lanyard, you are a new Rotarian, so welcome. And if you have a blue card in your lanyard, this is your first district conference, so welcome to you as well. So if you have no card in your lanyard, either a blue or a green, you are a white lanyard person, it is your job to welcome our blue and green friends. Make sure you introduce yourself to at least one or two of them so they feel welcome into the Rotary family and get to know all that we are about. With your badges as well, before I get into this, bathrooms, most important. I can't believe we took this long to get there. Outside these doors over here, you will find your bathrooms. Outside these doors as well, you can get to them. So the washrooms are just outside in the hall for those that are needing them. As you need to use them during the conference, please feel free to move around and take care of your needs. No need to sit down and wait. Lost and found. Someone's already going. This is perfect. if you misplace something over the course of the weekend, we do have a lost and found program in place. If you've lost something, please see one of our blue vested individuals. Everyone with a blue vest in the room, please wave. It will not be the same individuals all weekend. The vests are flipping around, but they are our volunteers for the weekend that can help you find your stuff. So please see them and let them know that you've lost something, and then we'll do our best to reconnect you. The program for this evening, if you didn't already pick up a paper program, is available on our app. So on the back of your lanyard, blue, green, or white, there is a QR code. And a QR code is something that you scan with your phone's camera, and it'll take you to the location where you can download your app. And the app is full of all sorts of information about this conference. So it's a really great tool for us this weekend. And I wanted to point out that we have some Rotary merch for sale in the back corner over here, right near the selfie station. So if you are out of Rotary merch and you need to refill your supplies, because no Rotarian can have enough polos, please do go see our friends in the back, and they are a licensed offer of Rotary merchandise. And no conference like this can be put on without the very gracious help of sponsors. So we're going to take a moment to recognize our sponsors both on our screen. They're also on the tent cards on your table. So if you are a local Rotarian or within the area, please do endeavor to patronize these services and these businesses and these individuals. And if you are a visitor to our community this weekend and you have a chance to go and thank any of these individuals that you run into as you're going down the street and you say, hey, that's a name I recognize, please do, because putting on an event like this does not come without a collective support. So a huge round of thanks to our sponsors. Have we gone through all 4 slides? Perfect. Okay, so now there is an opportunity for us to recognize some of the milestones that we're celebrating across our district. So we're going to turn our attention to the video and learn a little bit more about what's been going on for us all.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Mike Chafee from the Rotary Club of Flint, and I'm pleased to welcome our next speaker to tonight's program. David Scott Smith is a past president of the Rotary Club of Flint, Paul Harris Fellow, and a past assistant governor. He's the author of this book, Hope This Finds You, which is an outstanding read. It's a collection of essays that David drew from his weekly Monday Moanin' column. David's essays have been shared every Monday since 1999. He was a humor columnist for the Flint Journal and has written for Runner's World. He is also the recipient of the prestigious Red Quill Award, conferred to a rare few in Mrs. Ahern's 5th grade class. He's a dedicated storyteller at the Moth and will not resist the urge anywhere else. He's here to talk to us about the art of storytelling. Please join me in welcoming David Smith to the stage.
I watched as Tina's bicycle skidded off the pavement and saw her crash into the side of the road, her bicycle and her gear tumbling over her as she rolled and tumbled across the shoulder. The roads in southern Louisiana along the shoulders, they don't have gravel, they have crushed shells. So as she landed, it was like falling into a bed of broken glass. And by the time I got to her, she was covered in blood from a dozen cuts all over her, including a huge gash on her knee. Tina and I were riding our bicycles across the South. We were almost to New Orleans, and from there we were going to ride west to the Rockies. But one look at her injuries, and I knew our plans were about to change. I found someone who could take us to the emergency room, and they patched her up, and they sewed up her knee, and they put this huge comical bandage on her leg. And then I found someone else to haul us to a nearby campground where we would stay. It was all we could afford. We were living on dollars a day. And as I set up the tent in the middle of the night, all I could think was that I hope we could stay there long enough for her to heal up so we could continue riding. Within a few days, a young ranger showed up at our campsite. He's about our age, maybe 20 years old, and he was really nervous, and he said that we were going to have to leave. He said, it's not up to me. It's the policy of the campground. He said, but my boss is the one that really wants you out. And I sat on the picnic table. I looked in my wallet, even though I knew exactly how much money was in there. But I found this business card. It was from a guy I met a few weeks before. He was a cameraman for an ABC affiliate, and it gave me an idea. And I gathered Tina up, and we went into the ranger's office, and we sat down behind, in front of the desk there where the chief ranger was sitting there glaring at us. He was not happy to see us. He was red-faced, just angry. And I asked him if he would reconsider and let us stay in the park longer, and he gave us a flat no. And so I took out the business card, and I put it on the desk, and I told him that Tina and I were doing research for a documentary for ABC News. I said, and we were writing about the places we'd stay, you know, and then I was really hoping that I could give a more positive review of our experience. And he picked up the card, and he looked at it, and he looked at me, and he said, you work for ABC? And I knew he didn't believe me. I wouldn't believe me either. I mean, I had long hair and a scraggly beard. I didn't look like I could spell ABC. He says, it doesn't matter. He threw the card at me. He says, I want you and your little friend out of my campground. And I was so angry. My hands were shaking. I was so mad. I couldn't believe that he had to be that cruel. He seemed to enjoy it. And there was only one reason for that. It was because we were helpless. There was nothing we could do about it. So I got the young ranger to help us, and he dragged us and all of our stuff into the nearby town, took us to this diner, and we went inside and ordered coffee. And the waitress was curious about us, like people always were. And she asked, you know, she saw that our bike and our gear all out on the sidewalk then, and she saw the bandage on Tina's leg, and she asked us what was going on. And I said we had just been kicked out of the state park, and so we were looking for a place to stay. And while she's standing there with the coffee pot still in her hand, she calls across the diner to this other waitress. She says, Joanne, doesn't your brother-in-law work for the Parks Department? And Joanne says, yeah, he does. He just got a promotion. As a matter of fact, he's in charge of all of the state campgrounds in Louisiana. And she said to Joanne, would you mind calling him and see if there's anything he can do to help these young people? And it turns out there was something he could do to help us. And about an hour later, that young ranger was driving right back up to that diner and took us back to that campground, and we stayed there for free for as long as it took for Tina's leg to heal. Now, I was tempted to do a little, victory lap around the ranger, but something told me that was the wrong thing to do. And I'll share something with you. That was not the last lie that I ever told, but I told a lot fewer of them. I was on the road literally for tens of thousands of miles, and what I learned was that if I ever needed something, if I needed medical care or something to eat or a place to stay or just a glass of water, all I had to do was tell my true story. And if people could help me, they would. And that has stayed with me all of my life. And I know from experience that for some people, their first impulse is to show their ugly side, right? But for every one of those people, there's 1,000 more whose first impulse is to show how beautiful human beings can be. I am a storyteller, just like all of you. Now, some of you might think, well, no, I'm not a storyteller, but you are. You know you are. That's how we communicate every single day. It's how we share a little bit of ourselves with other people. It's how we learn about them and they learn about us. It is how we connect. It matters that we do this. What I have learned over the last few years is that it might be the thing that saves us from what might ruin us. This important little thing, the telling of our story, connects us. It puts us in a place where we can understand one another. Now, today we're going to talk about a few things here. We're going to talk about, I hope you understand the value of stories as we go along. We're going to learn a little bit about the storytelling process so that you can maybe think about telling your own story like I just did a moment ago. And then finally, maybe how you can use stories in your community to help make your life better and make the lives of the people around you better. Now, I told that little story at the top of our program to tell you, show you something, to showcase the idea of this. And that is, here's a little snippet of my life from several decades ago. It tells you a little bit about my background. But it also, I told you about a message that has stayed with me for all of my life. And so you now know me a little bit better. That's the value of stories. So stories have been with us all of humanity since the beginning of time. And early human beings, they told stories first by painting things on the walls of caves, right? And when they finally invented language, they told stories to one another to share news and to keep history, to capture what has happened. And as time went on and civilization processed, and pretty soon we're writing things down on scrolls and printing books, all of that was just the true stories of living people put into print so that it could be shared in other ways. And life has gone on. The ways that we express ourselves through stories has changed. It's advanced. We've gone from, all manner of entertainment like television and radio and now the huge expanse of the internet. But all of that is us expressing ourselves to the rest of the world through stories. And that's really the value of stories. And it's also, unfortunately, sometimes it showcases that storytelling can be left behind. Now, I got involved in storytelling a few years ago. I started going down to the Moth in Ann Arbor, and it was just at first for entertainment. And I wanted to try something different, something new, and so I started get storytelling down there. And it was exciting, it was interesting. But one of the things I noticed right away was that it served a purpose for the storytellers, people who were trying to express something from their lives. Sometimes it was stuff that was painful, that was necessary. Other times it was just funny stories, right? But what really mattered to me was that, and this might sound a little cliche, was that it gave me the opportunity to learn about people who were different than I am. And I'll admit to you, I'm a slow learner. It took me a couple of years to really figure this out. But what happened was that I learned about people who were different than me, different races and different sexual preferences and different religions and from different cultures and different countries, people who's had whole lives that were different than mine. And I thought of myself as a broad-minded and accepting person. But what I learned was that when someone told me their story, and I had the opportunity to listen to it, that I really did learn, I really did understand who that person was. It took a while for me to take on this skill, if you will. And maybe you're all doing it every single day, but it's taken me this long in life to figure it out. But what that meant to me was that also meant that I could be understood that way. And it seemed to me this was a pretty good thing. So I wanted to make something like this happen in my own town of Flint, Michigan. There's nothing like it there. And so I started my own program. It was called Passages, And so every month we have this storytelling event, and we invite folks to come in and tell true stories from their lives. And the way that it works basically is we usually have about 10 storytellers. And we have a theme every month. And the storytellers come in and they tell a story on that theme. It has to be a true story, their story. It's told without notes, without props. These aren't poetry slams. It's not a political thing. It is just true stories from your life. And they get 5 minutes to tell it. Now, what I wanted to see happen was that we would have a place for storytellers to express themselves creatively, but also this innate need that we have as human beings to tell others who we are, to be known by others. Now, you're all doing it every single day. You've been doing it in this room for the last hour or so. But this is just, and it expands it. It is another method of expressing ourselves. The other thing I wanted to have was I wanted to have a place where the audience could be a part of those people's lives. To really find what I found, which was that if you sat still long enough and paid attention, that you would learn about that other person. The person tells you a story. They're not asking you to debate it. They're not asking you to change your mind necessarily. They're simply saying, here I am. Take 5 minutes and just listen and understand about that. And it worked. But more importantly, this is what happened, and this is the thing that thrilled me, was that while we were there, people kept coming up to me after the program, and they would say, this is such a relief. I just wanted to get away from that screaming, angry, divisive noise in the world, and for a little while, just be with people. And what was amazing is it was the stories that connected them that way. It just gave them that sanctuary, that third space to escape from the rest of the world. And there was one more thing that happened, and I'll tell you about that in just a minute. So stories are important. They build connections between people. I've seen this not only here in Rotary, but at every place I've been where people are able to express themselves freely in a deep enough way that they can be known. They foster empathy and understanding. I just talked to you about how, I learned about complete strangers who were so different than me. I never would have met them otherwise. I never would have crossed real paths with them if I hadn't listened to their stories and learned about them and became really, I think, understanding of their life. It helps change minds. True stories help change minds. You may have something in your head that you're certain about a certain kind of person, and then you learn about who they are, and you understand that maybe you were wrong. They create the possibility of peace. I've watched this happen at Passages every single month. People walk in, no matter what was going on in their day before, and peace descends on that place. I'll share something with you from one of my favorite authors, me. Something in us wants to tell a story. We need to connect where we have been with what comes next. We want to bring our ancestors with us. We need to teach our children about love. We have to fortify ourselves against a challenge. We remember, we share, and we are made better for it. And so are those who witness it. And then, inevitably, we need to be known. We exchange the pages of our lives with those whom we meet, and we know that they walk away carrying our immortality, and we bear theirs. We each have a story to tell, It is how we celebrate that we were here. I'm telling you guys, every month I sit in that room and watch those storytellers walk out in front of that microphone and do all of what I just showed with you. They share their lives with others and change themselves and change the audience. We need that connection. Human beings are better together. It is, I don't care what your personality type is, you are better with others. It's true of babies, it's true with old people, it's true of all places in between. We are better when we are connected to other people. We need that connection. And here's the thing that's happening to us right now and has been for a long time. And it's just the way it is. That all of our lives, we've sought other people who are like us, right? We like being around people who are like us. We are drawn to them, we stay with them, we're comfortable with them, and that's okay. Those are our clans. But what happens is that those collections, those tribes, can sometimes create or leave just naturally a division between us and other people. It's a place where we are sometimes separate, and we need to think about that and absorb it. The other thing that has happened, especially in the last dozen years or so, is technology is conspiring every single year, better and better, faster and faster, to pull us apart from other human beings. Now, I'm not against technology. I mean, I'm as addicted as all of you are to my phone and other devices, but those are things that we have to think about and think about how they change our lifestyles. The other thing that's happening is to this connection that we have. And I just read this book. It's called The Last Human Job. And basically, the author talks about how we have relied on certain jobs that we always could connect to people with. It might be our pastor, it might be our psychologist, and so on. But what we have overlooked sometimes is that every single job has that value to us. It might seem incidental, but it's very important to us. And what we're learning is that those jobs, a lot of them, are disappearing. And so we're missing on some of that contact. And it's all the little incidental things that you've already forgotten about, many of them. But like when you would call the insurance agency to ask when your policy expires and you talk to a human being, and now there's no chance you'll ever talk to a human being. I took my granddaughter to McDonald's. I haven't been to McDonald's in years. And I went inside, and there was no one there. I mean, literally, there was no one there. There was no one in the dining space or in the play area. There was no one to take my money when I ordered the food. There's just a kiosk there. And when I ordered the food and it came and the woman who brought it to me, I said, "Why is this place empty?" And she said, "Oh, we do all of our business through the drive-thru. Nobody comes in here anymore." So my granddaughter and I sat in this empty room. And I know that the exchange between me and the person who takes my money for my French fries is not huge, but it matters. And when you take enough of those things away, let's just say that your recommended daily allowance of human contact is 100. And you take away all these tiny little jobs, and now it's down to 90. And then you go back to this life that you've chosen with phones and tablets and so on, and you realize now you're down to 75. And I think COVID was the high water thing for this. I mean, we have all of these places where we were forced to be separate. Folks working, remotely, they know they have to do those things. It's good for the employee, good for the employer. But they also know that something is missing. And all of these things kind of evolve. And I'll tell you a story. When I was 5 years old, my mom used to send me to the grocery store to pick up little bits of groceries. And we had 3 little sisters at home. And so she sent me to this store. And I'd go up to Mrs. Dodge's grocery store. And I would have this envelope with all the things that I was supposed to pick up and the money inside. And I'd give it to Mrs. Dodge. And she would fill the order and put it in the little grocery bag, put my change in there. And then she'd give me a piece of candy as a treat for being a helpful boy, right? And well, I loved that. And one day she had this other idea that she'd give me. Instead, she gave me, there was a loaf of bread, and inside that there was this little cardboard carrier, and inside it was white, had a cartoon king drawn on the back of it. And she cut it out, and she gave it to me, and I ran home so proud that I had that, right? And a couple weeks later, I was in Mrs. Dodge's store with my mom and my sisters, and I asked my mom for a piece of candy, and she said no. And I turned to Mrs. Dodge thinking she would be my ally, and she said no. And I was so angry, right? So I ran all the way back home, and I picked up the king from beside my bed where I kept it, and I ran all the way back to the store, and I slammed it on the counter. And I didn't even say a word to her. I was just so mad. I was red-faced and crying. And Mrs. Dodge understood. I ran back out again. And we moved away from that neighborhood, and maybe 15 years later, I was in the newspaper for something. And I had changed a lot in 15 years. But I'll tell you, only a good friend would have recognized me, and a good friend did. And I got it in the mail. I got this envelope, and inside was the newspaper article and a note from Mrs. Dodge. And that was all wrapped in the cardboard king. Now, I tell you this story not because just to wallow in a happy story from my childhood, but because it shows you what connections matter. There is no such thing as that connection in my granddaughter's future. There is no Mrs. Dodge for her. Now, does it make a huge difference in my life? I mean, if there was no Mrs. Dodge, if I had never gotten the king back, which I still have, by the way, would it have mattered? Maybe this much. But I feel that presence for all these years. There was all of these lessons that came with it. One of them was that, what it's like to be a friend and to be patient and to be kind and to be forgiving. Right? I learned that. I've held on to that message. What's more is I've written about it, and thousands of other people have read it. And now you've heard it too. This story matters. And if we lose that, if we give that up, we should at least know what we're giving up. We should at least know the price that we're paying. This depersonalization of all the things we've just been talking about can lead to a lot of things. What I want to share with you is a few things that is about Passages, and one thing I wanted to tell you about. Passages has turned out to be a tremendous success, and we've lots of storytellers and great audiences, and it's been a lot of fun. One of the things that I told you that it was important that I saw happen here, and this is really what has been on my heart since I first walked in this room, was this. That these people come in to hear these stories. There's a room full of strangers. And within an hour, they are hugging each other, and they are crying, and they are laughing, and they are hugging the storytellers. And they go from being complete strangers to a room of community, of love. And they come back. It changes them. It's worth it. Now, we started a workshop at Passages because I knew there was people that wanted to learn how to tell stories and tell them better. And that's been a huge success. And we've had a bunch of people that have gone through the process and are now telling stories at Passages and other events. We teach them how to tell the story, how to take an idea and move it into, set the stage and go through the process of telling the story and express the change that happens and show them how to end a story. That is, that's been the mechanics of it. What I'm hoping you'll see here is that the value of this is that you can put it into your community as well. That might mean that you can maybe have a storytelling event at your work or at community events. We've partnered with libraries, with other churches to put on storytelling events. It's an excellent thing to do in your Rotary Club as well. Your job as leaders in Rotary is to get and keep good Rotarians. And if you want them to stay in your club, connect them with other people. This is just a great tool to do this. I have one more quick story. I know that I'm running along, but I just have to tell you this story anyway. It's important to me, and I think it'll be, hopefully it'll be meaningful to you too. About 20 years ago, I was at work, and I got a phone call from my wife. Now, I've been at work for 12 hours. It's a full day for me, and I was tired, and I was hungry, and I just wanted to get home. And the phone call from my wife says that we had an emergency. It was a poster board emergency. One of our kids had a project due at school the next day, and my wife wanted me to pick up a poster board on the way home. So I'm going to go to the grocery store and pick up a poster board. So I hung up the phone, and I will tell you that what I said out loud was something like, I really don't want to go pick up a poster board. I want to go home and put my feet up and have a beer. But I'm a good father, so I went to this big grocery store. It has everything. And I found the poster board, and I went to go check out. Now, it was busy, so all the cashiers were busy. And this was the days before self-checkout. But they did have Express Lane. You remember Express Lanes? There'd be a sign over the thing that says, Express Lane, 12 items or less. Well, there I was going up there, and there in front of me was a woman who either could not read or could not count. She had just this basket filled with groceries. She looked like she was going to start her own grocery store. So I was trying to send her a message, right? Send her this ESP message to, let me go ahead of her. Well, it turns out that she can't count, can't read, doesn't get ESP. So I'm just like struggling not to lose my temper because I really just want to get home. So she's loading up her stuff on the conveyor belt. So I'm thinking about something that I want to say. I want to say something really sarcastic, right? Not too sarcastic. I mean, I don't want to get into a fight, get beat up by a woman in the grocery store. I just want to say something so she'll know how rude she's been. So finally, I think of exactly what I want to say. And she finally notices me. She kind of glances up at me, and I said, hey, how are you? Yeah. She looks at me, and I said, so, what was the best part of your day today? Now, it turns out she can't read, can't count, doesn't get ESP, and also doesn't understand sarcasm. And so she told me, she said, best part of my day, that's easy. She said, it's the same way every day. It's when I take my kids to school. We're in the car alone. We turn the radio off. There's no distractions. I ask them about their day at school. I ask them about their friends, about their homework, all the stuff that's going on. It's the best part of my day every day. And I'm like kind of flat-footed, like, God, it's not really what I was hoping for. Anyhow, so she leaves, and I walk up to pay for my 99-cent poster board, my one item. And the cashier, she's obviously heard our exchange, and she's looking at me kind of expectantly, right? So I said, well, all right, what was the best part of your day today? And she had been thinking about it, but she waited a second, and she said, it was on my break when I got to sit down for 15 minutes. And suddenly, my day looked a lot better. Now, I don't know this woman at all, never met her before, but just for this second, the door cracked open on her life, and I saw what it was like when the best part of your day is to sit down for 15 minutes. And for the next couple of weeks, I asked 20 people this question: what was the best part of your day today? And the answers were inspirational and humbling. Inspirational because people would ask me to join in with them in their celebration, whatever it was, anniversary, or they got to play with their kid, or whatever. And then the humbling ones were because the things that people said was the best part of their day was something so simple and so small that any one of us would have just walked by and not noticed. But it was the best part of their day. I heard people tell me, anytime I wake up on this side of the grass, that's the best part of my day. Or I just heard from my fiance in Texas, and he got a job. I can't wait till I get to move to Texas. Those stories just piled up. And for 20 years, I have been asking people all over the country this same question: what's the best part of your day? And in bank lobbies, in grocery stores, in airports, asking complete strangers. My wife loves this. What was the best part of your day today? And the wild thing is that people tell me. And here's what happens, and this is why this is super important. What happens is when they think about it for a second to try and find what the best part of their day is, they go through the 2 or 3 good top possibilities, and then they select the one. And as they tell you what it is, their brain and their body thinks that they're reliving that moment, and they light up. And then they pour that light into you. They make you feel that same happiness of the best part of their day. And every once in a while, somebody will ask me what the best part of my day was. And then I get to relive that as well. What I think is these stories that we're talking about, these little slips of our lives that I've been sharing some of that with you here tonight, we're doing it kind of incidentally in our lives already. Ask good questions, you all. Share the parts of your story of your life, your day, that might matter to someone. Let yourself be known. It will make a positive difference in your day and in theirs. We can't solve all of the things that are going on in the world, all the divisiveness and all the chaos, whatever technology is going to bring to our lives that might separate us from other human beings. We can't solve all those things, but I do know this for a fact, that we can bring some balance back in our day with more human contact. And one way we do that is by telling each other our stories. Thank you.
David, I have a gift for you. Thank you so much for sharing your energy and your spirit with us. On behalf of the club and the district, a small token of our thanks.
Oh, you're very kind. Thank you so much.
What an inspirational way to kick off our time together to talk about connection. We talked about the fact that, being together in a room is something that's relatively new still to all of us, or at least has not gotten novel yet. And how, while technology is allowing us to join with others that couldn't be here today, to rely solely on technology to connect us is a failed experiment. It has a purpose, but getting to know each other on a personal level is really what is all about and what this conference is all about. So in a short while, we're going to have a chance to do that and to gather. But another piece that really struck me from David's talk was when he commented on telling his true story. And the notion of Rotary being built on the foundation is it the truth? And so much of what we hear in today's world is not always the truth. It is somebody's truth. It is a created truth. It is a manufactured truth. And so it's beautiful to be in a room with people who value truth. And so thank you for sharing your inspiration with us, encouraging us to tell our stories, encouraging us to connect on a personal level and get to know each other, which we will do very shortly. But right now, I have some more logistics to give us. So, our name badges, remember the lanyards that I'm not allowed to wear, those ones? I'm so jealous of all of you. But on the back of them is a QR code. I mentioned this already, which gets you to your app. And many of you in the room, I have bright lights, so I can't tell what you actually are looking at, but I think you're going, an app? What do I do with the app? So an app is like a little mini computer that you touch, and everything you need for this weekend is there. So I encourage you, if you've never had an app before, go out of your comfort zone, scan the QR code, download the app, and play around with it, because it will tell you everything you need to know about this conference. It has the schedules, it has speaker bios, it has information about our silent auction, which lines the back of the room on both sides. There have been beautiful prizes donated by many Rotary clubs throughout the district, so thank you for everyone who's done that. And it is a fundraiser for a number of organizations that are very, very important, as well as our live fundraiser that's going to happen tomorrow night. And together, these fundraisers are going to be supporting organizations that our keynote speakers have chosen. So the first one is Harvest Hands. The second one is Rotary Foundation. The third is World Bicycle Relief, and the Conrad Grebel University College Rotary Peace Scholarship. So by participating in our silent auction, by participating in our live auction tomorrow evening, you'll be supporting these very important organizations. And with the app as well, there's information about what is happening on each of the days. So please take a chance to download it. It's like a little concierge for the weekend in your pocket. And if you have issues doing that, find the folks with the badges, the young people in the room with the buttons all over their jackets. They know how to do this. And as do, we have a technical support team at our welcome desk. So you're welcome to go see anyone with a blue badge, and they'll hook you up with the people who know. There is also some information. Oh, this is a fun one. Elizabeth Gaffney, are you in the room? We would know. Oh, there she is, Elizabeth Gaffney with her balloons. Okay, so Elizabeth is nothing but subtle, but she is wonderful in every possible way. And she has been chosen from the Rotary Club of Stratford to handle our polio fundraiser tomorrow evening. maybe not at this time, maybe a little bit later, a few more glasses of wine in, we will be inviting a hypnotist to the stage. That hypnotist will be looking for volunteers. We know how this all goes. The hypnotist comes up and says, can I have some volunteers to be hypnotized and do something stupid in front of all your new friends? And everyone goes like this. And we have taken care of that. Elizabeth is going around with a cart and some jars. And if you give her the low, low price of $5, the same amount you are going to give when your cell phone goes off to Polio Plus, for $5, Elizabeth will take a name and create a jar for them. And with that jar, she will accept ongoing donations, and the person with the most nominations by this time-ish tomorrow will be voluntold to come up to the stage and be hypnotized. So select your favorite or least favorite Rotarian and tell Elizabeth, and she will collect donations. These are being collected all today and tomorrow, and as I said, the person with the most donations will be required to be hypnotized. There is a bit of an out on this. I'll let that sort of become apparent over the course of the weekend. But for those of you who would like to make sure someone that you know is up here, that is your way to do it. Diapers. There was a stack of diapers at the front, and some of you may have been confused by that. But our colleagues at the Rotary Club of Mitchell, is anyone from Mitchell in the house? There we go. Okay, well, right there for sure, over here, welcome. They are collecting diapers of all sizes, adults, children's, newborn diapers, to be distributed throughout the community to those in need. So if you have your diapers with you, please drop them off. If you forgot your diapers or were not aware of the diaper collection, we do have drugstores in town if you'd like to purchase some, or simply make a cash donation, and they'll make sure that that gets translated to those who need it most. We have a photo backdrop. It is over in that corner. I can't see who's over there. Can we just point kindly? There we go, right there. So we have an opportunity for you to create memories and to share those memories. So on the back of your lanyard again, there is information about our social media. So there's a hashtag there that you can share on your social networks, and the magic of Rotary just gets more magical the more people that know about it. So please take advantage of the photo opportunity wherever it happens, but certainly at our photo memory booth, and then share that. And I think we are getting awfully close to wine and cheese, which is everybody's favorite portion of the evening. So we will, there we go, we have a keen participant in this corner. So what will be happening now is we'll be taking a break to have some fellowship, to learn each other's stories, and to have some complimentary cheese and a cash bar for some wine. This portion of the evening, we will come back together at 6 o'clock. We will have a bit more of the conference, and then we will have dinner. So consider this your hors d'oeuvres for the later portion of the meal. But do take a chance to meet at least one green lanyard person who is a fresh new Rotarian, and one new blue lanyard person who is their first district conference. And unless I am Amber, I'm looking for Amber. Have we forgotten anything, Amber, or are we good to break? We are good to break. Amber says we can come back together at 6 o'clock. So I look forward to seeing you then.